Hello guys, this is Tetz with a weekly recap for week 2 of season 2. Now you guys would probably be expecting Ips, but me and him have switched places, with him doing the top 5 and me doing the weekly recaps for now. Hopefully we'll see how long it will work for. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and get right into this. The first match is Denchby versus Ipa, with Ipa claiming the victory over Denchby. They both started out with a Mega Loppity lead versus a Galvantula, but unfortunately Ipa was predicting most of Denchby's moves and went out from his Galvantula to a Fortress, knowing that the Mega Loppity couldn't do too much. And so both Dench and him switched out, leading to the first good play of the match, with Ipa burning the Terrakion with a Will-O-Wisp. Now, unfortunately for Denchby, this pretty much crippled his Terrakion and prevented it from doing any real damage. And so he switched out to his Mew, and Ipa switched out to his Fortress. Now, Dench wanted to switch out again to a Talonflame, with Ipa going for a Stealth Rock. Now, this Stealth Rock pretty much guaranteed that Dench's Talonflame was going to be killed, or at least severely damaged on the next switch-in. So, yeah, that sucks. And with that, Ipa went out to his Galvantula, and it pretty much swept a lot of the team, a lot of Dench's team. And Dench brought out his Thunderous later in the game. Well, Ipa pretty much had this match taken over, and with his Jirachi, which was Toy Scarf, he pretty much cleaned up the rest of the match, and Ipa took the victory. In the second match, we have Jordy and the Leeds Rhyhorns versus Ragenot and the Memphis Ursaring. Now, this match was pretty much a stall war from basically beginning to end. Now, first up, they had a pretty solid. Ragenot had a pretty solid lead with the Snorlax, but unfortunately, Jordy was able to take it out with a Latias. Now, in the middle of the match, him and the Ragenot had a stall war with Jordy having a Ferrothorn out and the Ragenot having his Mega Venusaur out. Well, the Mega Venusaur went for a lot of Gross because he didn't want to really switch out, and Jordy wanted to keep his Ferrothorn in, that way he could basically wall the Mega Venusaur. With the Mega Venusaur going for a lot of Gross, Jordy went for a lot of Spike layers. He went for about 3 layers of Spikes, but he eventually wanted to turn the match in his favor, so he switched out his Ferrothorn. And unfortunately, the Venusaur already had so many Gross on him, he took out Jordy's Miltank and Latias. But Jordy was ready to retaliate with his Infernape, and pretty much took out the Venusaur, but Ragenot had his Black Kyurem waiting and took out the Infernape. But Jordy had a trick up his sleeve and had a Toy Scarf Flygon come out with an Outrage and pretty much OHKO almost everything else in the Rage that was left in the Ragenot's party, with giving Jordy the win. Now we have Mystic Umbreon and the Anastar Umbreons versus Poige and the East Lansing Toxicroaks. Now this was pretty much the shortest match of the entire season so far, with Mystic Umbreon getting the win. Poige managed to get Mystic's Typhlosion and Bisharp out, but before that, Mystic's Bisharp came in and swept most of Poige's team with knockouts and sucker punches as far as the eye can see. And Poige was able to bring down the Bisharp with his Moltres, but Mienshao was ready to come in and just clean up the rest of the battle, with Mystic taking the win, and there's nothing more to say about this battle. Third battle, we have Just Weavile and the Wolverhampton Weavile versus Donachie and the St. Louis Sableyes. Now, this battle was pretty much a long, intense one, with Donachie pretty much coming out on top. He and his Mega Medicham with Hit and Magnezone were switching in and out, basically whittling down Just Weavile's Pokemon, eventually taking the win. He got Stealth Rocks up with his Armado, and he also managed to knock off a Toy Scarf off of Kyurem, which, if he didn't, that would have pretty much taken care of a lot of his team. But luckily he was able to pull out the victory with a lot of good switches, a lot of good predictions, and congratulations to you, Donachie. Next up, we have Cypher Blocket and the Detroit Life Parts versus Moxie Infernape and the Baltimore Braviaries. Now, this match was very interesting because Moxie Infernape brought a lot of good and a lot of unique and interesting sets to the table, with a defensive Mega Gallade that used Will-O-Wisp and Earthquake a lot of the time. Also, a Thunderous T with Incinerate on it, and a Salamence with Hydro Pump. And these unusual sets caught Cypher off guard and mostly destroyed his team, because Cypher was preparing for a lot of conventional sets, but Moxie Furnic was just too much. Cypher did put up a valiant fight, but in the end, he just fell victim to so many predictions and unusual sets. It was just not even funny. Alright guys, next up we have Slaxorus and the Houston Axies versus War Tortoise and the Oakland Raichus. Now this match was pretty much Hacks Central. Hacks. Well, Slaxorus, you're a hacker, so I guess that would make sense. Anyways, Slax had a lot of good switch-ins for a lot of War Tortoise's Pokemon, and it pretty much came down to Slaxorus's Excadrill and Garchomp that pretty much come in and take care of everything. War Tortoise did have a Mega Gyarados that took care of Slaxorus's Frostlass, but with the combination of Frostlass's Ice Beam and his lucky miss with the Mega Gyarados' Ice Fang, he was able to kill the Mega Gyarados with an Earthquake from a Hippowdon, and that took care of that. But yeah, for most of the match, Slaxorus's Excadrill and Garchomp swept most of the War Tortoise's team, so there's the end of that. Next up are Rizzipow and the Phoenix Sunfloras versus Eric is Bad at Names and the Sacramento Kingdras. Now this match was controlled mostly by Riz because he had to switch in for basically everything, and he just whittled down Eric's team bit by bit until he finally started just taking them out one by one with his Rotom Heat to finish off everything. There's not much to say about this, but Riz takes the win with this, and he's 2-0 in the league. And last but definitely not least, we have Pokemon Trip HD and the Dallas Star Abias versus Baiser and the San Francisco 49tails. And this battle was the most intense battle of the whole week, in my opinion, because, oh my gosh, there's so many predictions, so many good plays. It was just intense, but unfortunately, Trip's combination of Venusaur, Gligar, Lucario, and that's probably, I think that was about it, were a pretty dang tough core for Baiser to get around, and unfortunately, Trip took the victory over Baiser, and that's it for the weekly recaps. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care and goodbye.